Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Monday, June 10th, 2013. So please bear with me as I get my bearings after my 4-day weekend. I'll do the best I can here just to get back into the swing of things. Okay, so on tap for today as far as market affecting announcements are concerned is nothing very much at all. No gold stars and no red stars. Same thing with tomorrow. So tomorrow should also be a comparatively calm day, I guess you might say. Alright, let's swing over here to the pre-market. We're showing an open that's going to possibly be positive. A little bit of a gap up from the close on Friday. I did kind of keep track of what happened on Thursday and Friday as I could, but I was kind of busy. So I'm assuming that we have probably had somewhat of a bullish market over those 2 days. Gold is well below 1400, which is telling me that the market probably was pretty positive those days. Oil is at 95, which is above our bogey at $95.62 is definitely reflected in the gas prices. Seems like every time I'm going to get in the car and make a long trip, gas prices jump 50 cents. And they definitely jumped at least 50 cents. It was amazing to me how much they ran up. So I'm going to have to keep it quiet, I guess, if I'm going to be taking a trip, and maybe gas prices will stay down. Yeah, if I can only dream that I would be that important that gas prices would be based on whether I'm driving a lot or not. Anyway, okay, so let's take a look at our current positions. Amazon, I did look at that in some detail this morning. A little bit disappointed with the move that it made on Friday. And here it is. We were consolidating really nicely. Let me squish this down so I can see where the iron condor is. It was moving along really sweet, and then Friday we get the big shoot up and ate up all our profits. So if we were to take a look at this on a risk profile, our white line, although we're still sort of well within the guidelines here. Let me move this date up here. So one deviation just puts us barely in the money here on the call side. If you can see, the shading ends right about here. So we might be in a little bit of a risk situation there. So what we're going to do is put in an alert here based on the last price at or above. That looks good, so we'll see if we trigger an alert on this particular position. Everything else is doing real good. I ran through them quickly this morning. Google's a little bit, let's see, no, Netflix is a little bit iffy here, so let's take a look at that. Yeah, we're still not getting the bullish move that we're hoping for based on our stochastics here, and we're looking a little weak. Looking a little weak on the MACD, and looking a little weak also on the weekly indicators. However, our moving average still continues to move up, and it's right at our short strike here for this June 2. And June 2 is this Friday. So this particular one will expire this Friday. this is the one that's risky right now. We'll keep an eye on this, and we will add an alert right about there. And watch and see what happens there. Everything else is looking A-OK. Alright, moving on to our scan. First thing we want to always do is review our rules. This is our shortened version of the rules. Let's make sure that we read these over religiously before we actually take off and do our scan. Alright, bring up the A+ list here. Starting out with Apple. In a moment. Okay, we're at auto scale. Alright, Apple, too flat for a directional trade, and there's no way that I would do an iron condor on this one. So we'll take a pass on Apple. Amazon, might not be a bad idea to do a safe. Let's take a look at a safe trade here. In that particular direction, we would be looking for a bull put on this with a I don't know, July might be a little bit too far out. Here we have 18 days. Let's see what a 20 delta will give us here. Well, there's an 18 delta at 260, and that is here. Probably relatively safe. Although there was some weakness towards the end of the day here, but I think the 260 might be safe. And if we did a 260, what kind of a credit would we be pulling in? What's our open positions? Oh, we only have 87 open positions. I'm not liking this particular expiration period on that. A little, not quite as liquid as I would like it to see. So now if we go to July expiration, which is 39 days out, we're looking at 255, which is another $5 down, and that gives us a 79-cent credit, which isn't too bad. So if we were to look at 255, I think that's pretty safe for a directional trade. I will be looking for possibly entering that today, so I'm going to put an alert here at or above that particular price. Well, we already have an alert here. Oh, this is an alert for our iron condor at 282. Alright, we're good to go here then for this particular one. So let's just review our rules here. Secondary entry, moving average is green, so it's up. We dipped here below our percent K, did dip below the 45 level, so this is a secondary entry. A little weaker than normal, but still valid. We're getting confirmation on the MACD. Everything is moving up on that. And on the weekly, we have the MACD in an uptrend. The moving average is up. So this actually has a lot of confirmation, even though it's a secondary level type of an entry, where we want to make sure that we're at a delta of 20 or less. And that's what this trade would give us, and it would give us here at 255. So let's put a little marker in there, 255. That would be opening today. So we'll just leave that there for now. Let's take a look at BIDU. BIDU also came down here and hit our target when I wasn't looking, and I hope you folks got an opportunity to get in on that, because that looks pretty good right now. And I still may consider this as well, so I'm adding an alert here, and we'll see if that move continues. Alright, make sure that we are recording. We are. Okay, that's good. Okay. Celgene. This moving average is just a little bit too flat here, and this was a rather large move here. I'm just not going to be doing anything with that one. Just this moving average actually looks kind of flat, so let's just hang on and we'll just keep an eye on that one. See if we're in there with a bear call trade, as indicated over here. No directional trades. Moving average is wiggling around and pretty flat right now, flipping between green and red, definitely telling you that it's pretty flat. Iron Condor candidate? Possibly. We'll worry about that later this week. Chipotle, nice moving average, nice. This is looking pretty good right here. This was a we had a little issue here at the open, first hour or so, but it recovered nicely and it looks very powerful. So I'm going to be adding alert on this too, and actually if I put a multiple alerts on items, I will not necessarily be entering in on all of them. Some of these look stronger than others. This one looks very strong, even though our momentum here is a little bit down. And we have a conflict here on the long-term chart, don't we? That's pretty interesting. What went on here in the past? It's had a troubled past, I see. But on the midterm chart, it's looking pretty good. So if I set a bunch of alerts for today, and they all go off, I will pick the one or two that look the strongest. Alright, so moving right along. Gold, we're in. I'm not going to even take a look at that. Google, we are in also, but I will take a look at that. That would be an interesting trade to add something to, but I'm not going to add to that at this time. Goldman Sachs. Oh, we got a nice hook here. Very powerful move. Setting an alert. Okay. LinkedIn. Too flat. No directional trade here. Still not sure what this is going to do. MasterCard. Nice bounce here, but kind of a weak looking day. I don't like this candle here. So I'm not going to put an alert on this one. Netflix. Okay, we're keeping an eye on this one. We are in plenty on Netflix. If you're not in on it, this would be a secondary entry, but my concern is that the moving average is starting to look pretty flat here. So then we're down on the MACD long term, but the short term we're up. And over here in the weekly chart, it's actually looking pretty weak. The thing that I might consider is possibly a counter trade with a bear call position if you can get something up here at 240 or above, but I'm not interested in it right now. Not planning on playing both sides of it, although I may take a look at that later today. We're actually July. Okay, price line. Consolidating here, still a little hesitant about doing anything in the world of Priceline because of its huge moves. Getting conflicting information here. Looks like everything's kind of moving down, actually. It's looking pretty weak. And if we were to take a look at maybe a July bear call, definitely could do something here around 880, and that, my friends, is way off the charts here. So, you know, if you wanted to Priceline is looking pretty weak, I would have to say. So I think that 880 or 885 for a bear call might look pretty good right about now. Alright, we're almost done. Panera. Let's see here. What are we looking at? We're in an uptrend. A confirmation candle here after this bounce up. We're up here on the short-term MACD. Long-term MACD still moving down. And on our weekly chart, looking signs of weakness there. The weekly candle was also red. So definitely going to sit back and observe for Panera at this time. And last but not least is Visa. Visa's in a consolidation period right now itself. No directional trades. I am going to remove that target. And that should be it. Okay, so then in summary, we have alerts set on Amazon for a bull put, Baidu bull put, Chipotle bull put, Goldman Sachs bull put, Netflix. I'll be looking today at possibly doing a counter trade on that, counter to the current trend. And Priceline is looking pretty weak. All right, everybody. Thank you for those who offered condolences. And we are done for today. Have a great day and happy trading.